let's talk about social media. This is a really exciting topic for me. If you guys follow me on any of my social platforms, you know that I love social media, you know that I love creating content. I've been blogging since 2011, and it's something that I'm so passionate about. I will just share a little bit why I started a blog. I got into reading fashion blogs, and then from there I found some other blogs. A lot of the bloggers that I followed had links on their blogs to other bloggers that they would collaborate with and connect with. And so that's kind of how I found, I'll turn my sound off. That's kind of how I found the group of bloggers that I initially started following. And so sometimes they would share fashion, and then once in a while there would be like a really cool heartfelt story. And what really hit me is I would be reading these stories and I would think, wow, I've felt that before, and I thought that I was alone in that feeling or that experience, but now I'm seeing that somebody else is going through that. And so I would join the conversation, and that was just really moving to me. And at this time when I was reading all these blogs, I had, you know, a lot of anxieties and things like that. And so I thought, you know what, I'm just gonna start a blog and I'm just gonna start writing, and I'm not actually gonna share it with anyone, but it's gonna help me to sort out my thoughts. It was kind of like a journal or a diary online. So that's how I started my blog, and I always had the dream to turn it into a business. When I started my blog, Instagram, I think maybe Instagram was, I don't even know if Instagram was around. And so as everything has evolved, it has become increasingly available to turn your social platforms into a business. If you already have a business, then you can use social media as a business. So first and foremost for me, social media, the various platforms, is a way to be creative for myself and to share my thoughts and ideas, and then connect with others on those similar ideas, interests, experiences. So that's what I'm truly passionate about. The fact that I can acquire income from doing all of this is like icing on the cake. And one at the core of everything I do is I want, my faith is at the core of everything I do, because it's at the core of me. And so being a Christian and then sharing all of the different facets that are a part of my life is just, I want people to see the joy and love and peace and awesomeness of God through everything I do. So that's at the core of everything as well. And that is something that I always keep in mind with every piece of content that I create, from fashion or a specific faith post. So that's kind of at the core of everything. So you will have maybe a different core to everything that you share, and that's up to you. And that's the amazing thing about social media, is you can create whatever you want to create. So what I want to do in this series is share everything I've learned. And I've been getting messages from people being like, Heather, I've thought about starting a blog or a YouTube channel. Where do I start? Here's where you start. This is what we're gonna do. So if you just wanna share your life because you think that you would enjoy the creative process, this is gonna be for you. If you're a business owner and you're using social media as a promotional tool and a connectional tool for your business, this is gonna be for you. If you're someone who loves Instagram but maybe wants to like meet new people on Instagram and you're not really sure how to do that, this is gonna be for you. So I hope you guys are excited to come along with me on this journey, and let's just get started is literally the message of this video. So if you have been thinking about calling yourself an influencer or upping your social game as a business owner, whatever it is, just start doing it one step at a time. Some people might say like, you need to create this like whole strategy. Yes, those things are valuable, but in the very beginning, just start doing it. So maybe for specifically, so a tip could be for your Instagram, create a business profile. For your Instagram, you're gonna have more options for promoting posts and advertising yourself. You're gonna be able to put a link in your bio. I will even link below a step-by-step instructional how to make your Instagram profile a professional profile. Whatever platform you're using to promote your business that speaks to your audience, whether it's Twitter or YouTube or Instagram or Facebook, I still believe that we all need websites. So whether it's a website blog combo or it's a business website that showcases, you know, the variety of services or products that your business offers, you need a website. It is like the home of everything. If you love sharing on Instagram, that's amazing. Instagram is beautiful and an amazing way to share, but you can only share pieces of the story. If people want more information about your story or about a story of a product or experience that you're sharing, I believe that you need to have an additional place that they can go to find all of that information. So really, I think the number one thing that you need is a professional home, a website. You can create a completely custom website. You can work with a firm to create a website for you. You could do a blog. You can do a, there's lots of different free blogging platforms that you can create your own blog and have different sections and things like that. A website that is your own domain is a really important thing if you're gonna do this as a business moving forward. I think you're gonna have more longevity and flexibility with a website with your chosen domain. So for example, I used to do all of my blogging on Blogger, and then I had my personal website and I had professional information on my personal website that I could send brands to look at. And I found that it was very disjointed. So now I have everything in one place. So heatheraudreylapierre.com is my website, is my media kit, is my blog. You can shop from my website if you like my fashions and my makeup. You can find everything there. It's the hub for everything Heather Audrey Lapierre. It's my online home. And since having my website, I've changed it so many different times. So the platform that I use is Squarespace. I do use a paid, I do pay for my website, and it's a customizable website, so I can go in and change things. So I've changed the design about 3 times since having it, fairly easily. It does take some time to kind of get familiar with the system, but they have lots of different options. I love Squarespace because they have a variety of different designs to choose from. Their facts and their frequently asked questions section is really excellent, has tons of resources. If you need to get in contact with them directly, you have the opportunity to do that. If you're not sure about changing something or doing something, it's just a really, really easy platform to use. If you're starting out and you're like, I'm gonna be a food blogger or I'm gonna be a fashion blogger, I think that's great to have like a direction when you're starting out, but don't be afraid to like step outside that a little bit. I think being like strictly a fashion blogger or strictly a food blogger, there are, you know, markets for that, and there are people that are wildly successful with having a niche market. Don't be so afraid to go a different direction, because as you know, my blog, my socials are simply a reflection of what's going on in my life, or like a snapshot of what's going on in my life. And I'm always changing. My interests are always changing. My family is growing. So I'm gonna be like learning about different things. So that's what I'm gonna be sharing about. You know, my health and my wellness is always evolving, and I'm always interested in like consuming new things that are good for my body. My fashion is always changing. And so I haven't restricted myself to just sharing content that is fashion or makeup or whatever. It's really evolved over time. If you go back and you look at, you know, my older posts, I might go through a season where I'm like sharing a lot about makeup because maybe I've been learning a lot about makeup, and then I have been revamping my wardrobe, so then my fashion posts become like a really big focus. God is teaching me something in my life, and maybe I'm working on, you know, marriage is something that I'm starting a video series on, marriage and that faith walk in my marriage, and that conversation around marriage with other women. And so that is going to become a very big theme in my blog and my YouTube channel. And so I personally believe it's okay to allow yourself to have your blog evolve like that. So coming away from this first video, just get started, I would say that you need to look into getting yourself a website or a blog, a professional home on the internet to house everything, and look at making your profiles professional. So maybe you want to consider a business page on Facebook and changing your Instagram to a business Instagram page. That's your homework. This is the first video. Comment below with any questions you have. I'm gonna have information links below, so I'll link Squarespace. I will link an instructional video on changing, or an instructional instructions on changing your Instagram to a business profile, and I will also have my email below, so if you have any questions and you don't want to just comment, you can email, but other people might be thinking the same questions as you. So if you comment below, then we all may benefit from the conversations that could happen in this video. And stay tuned for more social media training. We're going to get through this together, and it's going to be such an enjoyable journey.